Lecture, we will introduce about the science and the various parts of the science as well as the biology and its head branches. Now students, today after the definition of cell, completing the definition of cell, we are going to know about the discovery of the cell, how, when the cell was discovered. So students, at first, as you all of you also in previous classes study Robert Hooke. Yes student, Robert Hooke was a English physicist. Yes students, an English physicist who were discovered the cell in 1665. Yeah, in 1665 into cord. What is cord? We know that in ancient time the neck of the bottle is tied or canning with the help of a wooden block that look like such a way that this cord hold on the neck of the bottle to close the neck of the bottle that is made up of glass. So accidentally, when Robert Hooke working in his laboratory, he, with the help of a simple microscope, saw many beehive-like structures. Yes, students, many beehive-like structures he saw into the car cambium under the simple microscope. Yes, under the simple microscope, because during that time the compound microscope was not discovered. And in car, this is the wooden car, and it is visualized under the simple microscope, then it appears. This is just a rough diagram of simple microscope, and this is the observer side, and see under the simple microscope to the car. This is the car. It is made up of wood. The car means wood. Yes, students. It is a Greek term that is used, Greek word that is used for the wood. And after seeing these minute beehive-like structures or chambers, he called them cell. Yes, students, these are the cell, which means teeny compartment. Yes, students, that means teeny compartment. And students, the wagon of each rail coaches are also called compartment that are used by the passengers. Just like that, students, cell was discovered, and it just looked like beehive-like structure. Beehive-like structure. Thus, accidentally, this physicist discovered the cell into the car cambium or car, that is a wooden block earlier used for canning the neck of the bottle. Now students, there are minute structures are also appearing inside the cell. What are these? Yes, these are nucleus. Yes, students, these are nucleus. So, when and by whom the nucleus were discovered? Yes, nucleus were discovered by Robert Brown. Robert Brown. In which year? In 1831. Yes, students. After the discovery of cell in 1665, Robert Brown in 1831 discovered the nucleus. And one thing you also see in the inside the nucleus, what is that? That is the nucleolus, a central body, a spherical minute one or more central bodies are present in each cell. That is called nucleolus. Yes, students, nucleolus. And by whom nucleolus was discovered? Nucleolus was discovered by Fontana. What is student? Fontana. Fontana discovered the nucleolus inside the nucleus. But student, it is interesting that first, before discovery of the nucleus by Robert Brown, nucleolus was discovered. Yeah, nucleolus was discovered first. Then the discovery of nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. Then in which year Fontana discovered the nucleolus inside the cell? He was discovered in 1781. Yes, student. In 1781, nucleolus was discovered. Then after, the nucleus by Robert Brown in 1831 was discovered. But one thing more interesting that Fontana not gave the term nucleolus. Then by whom the term nucleolus was first used? The term nucleolus was, this term nucleolus was firstly used by Baumann. Yes, student. Baumann was the biologist who first used the term nucleolus, and in the year 1840, thus students, the cell was discovered. Not only the cell was discovered, inside the cell, these minute spherical bodies are also discovered. It means nucleus as well as nucleolus. Thus, the discovery of cell is completed. And students, this is the Robert who discovered this cell in the dead form. Then, who was the first biologist who was discovered the living cell first? He was Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Yes, students, Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Antony von Leeuwenhoek was the first biologist who first studied the living cell. Living cell. That was the cell of a bacteria. Yes, student. That was the cell of a bacteria. But students, he called this first living cell animalcule. Yeah, animalcules, just like the molecules in physics. Yeah, he gave the term animalcules, and after that, the Antony von Leeuwenhoek is also regarded as the father of bacteriology, and Robert Koch was regarded as the father of cytology. What is cytology? Cyte means cell. Cyte means cell. The study about the cell is known as cytology. Yes, students, thus the discovery of the cell take place. Now, students, after the discovery of cell, two biologists, German botanist and English zoologist were proposed a theory on the cell that was after that known to be cell theory. So friends, we are going to discuss about the cell theory. What is cell theory and what kind of conclusions are given inside the cell theory? So let's going to talk about cell theory. Cell theory given by German botanist. I will told you the person who study about or well have knowledge about the head branch of the biology, that is called botany. It means study about the plants, is known as botanist. German botanist Matthew J. Schleiden and English zoologist, the scientist who have well knowledge and he well studied about the animals are known as zoologist. The English zoologist T. Swan or Theodore, you can say that Swan. Theodore Swan proposed the cell theory during 1834-35. In 1834, Schleiden, and after that followed by the Swan. They gave the cell theory. What are the main postulates of the cell theory? They gave three main postulates of cell theory. What are that? Just we going to discuss the cell theory. The first concept was given by them is the cell is the smallest structural and yes students functional unit of life. Yeah, that was the also known to be the definition of the cell. The cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of life. Next one, each and every living organism body is made up of one or more cell. Yes students, the organism whose body is made up of only one cell are known as unicellular, whereas the organism whose body is composed of or made up of more than one cell are called multicellular. So each and every living organism body is made up of one or more cells. Now students, the next concept, each and every cell has ability of growth and division. After maturing a cell, it achieves the ability of growth and division. And student, it means that any new new cell arises or you can say that originated from their pre-existing cell, their premature, or you can say that pre-existing cell. Thus, students, these concepts were given by the German botanist Matthew Slidell and English zoologist Theodor Swan in cell theory. Thus, I will complete today's video lecture, and in next video lecture we will going to discuss about the type of cell and what are the peculiar characteristics that distinct between the one to another cell. Thanks.